But my beats, they are hard.
Hey, good evening. What up, family? It's the BCSN SportsWrap back on another Sunday night. We apologize for not being there for you last weekend, but we are back off the road, off wherever we've been. I'm Bryan Fulford. That's A.D. Drew. You probably saw Drew a little earlier this morning, so he got back home definitely way earlier than me. I just got back probably about an hour ago. So yeah, good stuff, Drew. How you feeling, man? How you feeling? I know it's always tough waking up in the morning. You probably had a late night, early morning, then had to get up and do Doc's show. So how you feeling?
Well, number one, I did not get in. We did not fly back in until 1:00 in the morning last night. About 1:30 by the time we got back to campus, and it was at 3:00 before I got to bed last night, Brian. So that tells you how I am today, running on fumes, having to get up and do Doc this morning. So, but the show must go on, Brian. The show must go on. And from a football sense, I'm gonna just say this.
Is that you licking your wounds? Is that what that is?
That's exactly what that is, my brother.
Well, we know a lot about that, don't we? I think we can both kind of relate to licking wounds and holding people off the leg. Huh?
Pick a school on which I'm not gonna tell you which school that I'm licking my wounds for, but I'm licking wounds, and I might get a new sword. I might get a new sword tonight, Brian.
You got wounds on both arms, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And Brian, you know, although it's week 1, it is too early for people to be going off the ledge.
I disagree.
There are some seats in the waiting room that are occupied.
Y'all are being kind, and here's why I'm gonna just say it the way I say it. We've had a month of practices, 3 to 4 months of talking and listening and buying in, and then in 3 to 4 hours of time,
it all went to crap.
Poof, gone. I mean, there are. I mean, it's real. That's all I'm gonna say, Drew. It's real. I mean, it's not everybody, but there's a few schools that are looking out there like, man, what the hell? What's that mean? What the hell is going on? That's exactly who was that? Vince Lombardi in that clip. What the hell is going on? That's how you got to feel after week 1 for a few teams. Not everybody. But yeah, man, there's some definitely some overreactions to deal with, and some people that are questioning everything that you've been told and you heard. You're questioning, no doubt. It's understandable. I try not to be a fan, but we all grew up as fans, so it's hard to just lose that. So I get it. I understand those of you who are dealing with it. Brave Nation, I get it. I understand. Rattler Nation, I get it. I understand. Who else did we say was kind of in that room or maybe on the ledge. There's a few people out there, so
Yeah, definitely there are a few people out there, but you gave the top two people.
Yeah, no doubt. Those are the top two, without a doubt.
And there's some other people in the hallway ready to knock on the door, Brian.
Right.
But they're rational enough to give it another week before they knock on their door.
Yeah.
On whether they want to get to the room where the ledge is located at, Brian. I mean, this is you know what? You ever had that brother, cousin, parent, that close friend who just you felt like they just blatantly lied to you, Brian?
No, I mean, yeah, a friend, sure, but are they really a friend if they're doing all that?
Yeah, and that's how you feel about these expectations that you have bought from some of these coaches out here. You felt like they have blatantly lied to you. Coach speak is one thing, but coach, we know if we don't have whatever it is, we don't have a quarterback. Our defense may be suspect. Whatever it is, we know. Just say, hey, we're looking to improve at the quarterback position. Not that my quarterback is the next coming of Tom Brady, and he throws like Matt Brady.
How many passing games look bad? Like, raise your hand in the chat room if your team's passing game was garbage this weekend. Raise your hand.
But why was the passing game garbage? And the reason I'm saying that, was it because of the line? Was it because of the lack of a running game? Was it because of lack of arm talent? Was it because of the drop C's by the receivers? Why did the passing game look garbage? And that's just those are just some things that you have to evaluate.
Factors. All those factors are solid, and I think also
was it the play call?
What you see in week one also, Drew. I think you see a lot of schools are coming in with new quarterbacks.
And,
let's really count. Let's really count how many quarterbacks really were returners. I think you'll say maybe a handful of guys were really returners. So
I know one quarterback that came
on
back
on the same team, right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, week one is that big gamble. You don't know. It comes down to a guy who maybe had talent but no experience versus a guy who has experience because he transferred from another school and it showed in moments. I didn't get a chance. What is that? What did Zach say? I didn't get a chance to read what he said.
Every single quarterback outside of Andrew Body looked terrible.
I
wholeheartedly was okay.
Yeah, 100%. Looked pretty good. I think on the D2 level, there might have been a couple guys who looked good in those D2 games.
There was a guy. There's this guy. You may know his name. He was at Fort Valley State. Now he's at Johnson C. Smith. Now quarterback.
Yeah.
By the name of Kelvin Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard of him.
We heard his name a few times yesterday, and he looks like he has not missed a beat rejoining his former coach Maurice Flowers at Johnson C. Smith.
And how about, I think Albany State's got a pretty decent
Isaiah Knowles.
Yeah, he looked pretty good as well. Kentucky State's QB. So I mean, it goes, but yeah, I mean, if we evaluate, if anybody's putting a QB of the week other than Andrew, if Andrew Body's not HBCU Player of the Week, you miss
at
me
least on the D1 level.
On the D1 level, yeah, I mean, just the performance. But anyway, let's get into talking about the one thing that impressed me from this past weekend, Drew, is by my count, we counted on the D1 level, FCS level, 4 last-second wins or games that were decided as a result of a last-second play, and 3 of them were field goal related, right?
And one touchdown.
Yeah, and I may be missing some. So I mean, if you're Howard, Prairie View, South Carolina State, Tennessee State, congratulations. All good last-second wins for you. Let's start with
and before you get into it, Brian, I just want to say this. It is rare, it is odd that in week 1, you see games that are actually won off of a kicker's foot, because this is usually the time of the year where the special teams just aren't right. So for those 3 teams to win those games off of a foot, especially with that much pressure on it, kudos to those special teams coaches, and kudos also to those kids for having ice water in their veins.
Yeah. Obviously, I was down in South Florida at the Invesco QQQ Orange Blossom Classic, Howard taking on Florida A&M. And, coming into the ball game, you had a team with 2 quarterbacks that, well, we didn't know who was going to be QB1 for Howard. We knew FAMU's quarterback was going to be new. But I was really impressed with the performance of Howard's quarterback, Tyreek Starks. I thought him as being a grad student, which by the way, brings another point, Drew. And this is something that came out on Wednesday's ONG Strike Zone. We talked to Erica Lee. Many of you know Erica on HBCU Nightly. She brought up the fact that Howard really doesn't get undergrad transfers because of the admissions, and so most of their transfers are grad students. Well, who was that primary grad student at QB1 that led them? That none other than Mr. Starks, who was a transfer from Florida Atlantic University. Guess what? From Carroll City, right there around the corner from that stadium.
Not to cut you off, Brian, Virginia State just scored again. They are up 16-3 with the PAT to come, with 5:18 remaining in the second quarter.
Wait a second. You broke up on me. Say that again. I didn't hear you. You may have gone out. Okay, but what'd you say?
Virginia State just scored on about a 40-yard touchdown pass to go up 16-3 over Miles with the PAT to come in the Black College Hall of Fame Classic.
You mean Virginia Union?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Virginia
because
Union.
I was like, how's Virginia State playing again? I'm like, Virginia State just played on Thursday.
Charged to my head, not my heart.
Okay, I'm like, damn, Virginia State's playing again. I thought they just played. All right, so okay, so basically we got a game going on live. What channel is that on? In case anybody wants
NFL Network,
dual TV. Okay, so if you want to pop over, and that's good. I'm glad you said that because I can drop that on. I'm sitting here watching this Taylor Townsend Barbara Krejcikova tennis match, which is blowing my mind because they just played this epic second set. And I got the multi-view thing going on, so I got like 4 channels, 4 boxes going on here. Somebody said HBCU Go. The game's on. I thought it was. You said NFL Network.
Yeah, it's on NFL Network.
Okay, so there you go. NFL Network, says Drew. So I don't know what's on HBCU Go, but I would go to NFL Network if you want to watch.
HBCU Go probably playing a replay of something.
Okay. If I can find the damn thing, where is the NFL Network? Okay, there it is. Yep. Okay, I got it now. Okay, so back to the Howard FAMU game. Very briefly, what I'll say about that game. So Howard ends up winning the ball game on a 43-yard field goal by Matt Kennard as time expired. This is a game, Drew, in which Howard really, I don't know if they did a game MVP, but Starks was the game MVP. He showed his experience. Florida A&M's defense held Howard to under 200 yards. Under 200 yards. They had 1 interception. It was a relatively clean game from the penalties and turnover perspective. That was the only turnover of the game, 1 interception. FAMU made 2 sacks against Howard. Howard had about 3 sacks on FAMU. So, really, the problem was neither offense was great. FAMU had the better field position overall. Their defense forced Howard into, I counted this among the drives, and I think there was maybe about 12 total drives by Howard. 7 of those drives, Drew, Howard never got more than 9 yards in 7 of those drives. 6 of those 7 were 3 and outs. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Conversely, though, Howard's defense, when it got inside the red zone, now whether you want to give it credit to Howard's defense or whether you say it was FAMU's inability to actually attack the end zone, which I will talk about on tomorrow night's ONG Monday night review. Hint, by the way, those of you who are interested in the full review of the FAMU game, it'll be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern. But I'll say this. FAMU got in close to the red zone 3 times, actually 4 times. 3 of those times they kicked field goals. 1 got blocked. And their drives, Drew, FAMU had never had a drive more than 53 yards. They had 4 drives of 10-plus plays. Those were all field goals or a field goal block. So touchdowns versus field goals, Drew, that's the name of the game. And you got to be able to score touchdowns. And all FAMU needed was 1 touchdown. They couldn't get 1 because 1 touchdown might have made the difference in the ball game. And so many of factors will go into that. But congratulations to Howard, who we really, look, you can talk about Larry Scott and being on the hot seat and all the stuff going on and whether Howard's going to be a player or not. But and I don't know if Howard has a real passing game, to be honest with you, but I'll tell you this, Drew. I think they have a pretty decent defense. I think they have a quarterback that can lead them if he can stay healthy. And the running game will be there because that's what Howard has typically done. I don't know if they really have a passing game, but I think Howard, people will want to pay attention over the next few weeks to Howard because they might be a little better and might be a contender in the MEAC more so than what people thought 48 hours ago. Yeah, so that's all I've got. I'll get into my FAMU analysis tomorrow night, but what do you want? Anything you want to add about that game? I know I see all you guys in the chat, good stuff there, but anything you want to add about that?
Do you call this a statement victory, Bryan, or did Howard escape?
Most definitely. Statement victory for Howard. I would call it. Statement victory. Statement victory.
Let's move on because we've got a lot of games we want to go. We got to go over today. So
we're
going to keep this show on time. Prairie
View. How about the game, the Labor Day Classic, Prairie View, Texas Southern, the game that, man, the talking was real. And I can't wait to see the coaches Monday morning press conference. Tremaine Jackson, Chris Dishman. Of course, those of you who may not know Chris Dishman and Bubba McDowell, very close to previous coach of Prairie View. And I think the things that, the McDowell getting fired or his contract not being renewed upset Chris Dishman. And so the back and forth and the talk and the banter between new Tremaine Jackson coming in and all the talk, it got pretty interesting at that luncheon. I mean, the viral, it's out there if you want to see it. But that was kind of, you were hoping that the game would live up to half the hype of that talk. And that game was a little late starting. I think, how long was the delay on that game? Because that game,
I know they had a rain delay in that game.
Okay. That game, of course, being played at Shell Energy, and they had an initial delay, turned into be a pretty good game, in which, if you've seen the video, Prairie View gets
I'm trying to pull it up right now, Bryan.
Oh, you are? Okay, I'll keep talking. Prairie View gets a touchdown with literally, I don't know, no time or 2 seconds left on the clock from about 30 yards out. And when I watched the video, the biggest thing I kept saying is, what the hell is the DB from Texas Southern looking at? Because I don't know, that guy just got so wide open in the middle of the field. It was amazing watching how that played out. Prairie View ends up winning 22-21. And and the penalties. Thank you, Adrian. There were like 15 penalties. Great video there by whoever caught it. Run that play one more time and be ready to hit stop when I tell you to hit stop in a second. Was it a linebacker? It's a linebacker. Stop right there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good call, Tony. It's a linebacker right there in the middle of the field. There's a linebacker, and he basically overplayed it. He overplayed it. His eyes started looking at the ball, and basically, hey, give some credit to the receiver because the receiver realized that the ball was actually going behind. It was going behind him, and he kind of cut the route off and basically stopped. It ended up being wide open, and so I apologize to the DB. It wasn't all his fault, but it's a bad look still. All right, Elvin says it was a back shoulder throw. I don't know, Drew. Does that qualify as a back shoulder throw?
No, you don't throw back shoulder throws in the middle of the field.
In the middle of the field.
If that was on the sideline, I would buy it.
Right. It was a good look. It was a good throw. I think most of those throws, though, Elvin, I think you're leading the guy, but he had a linebacker, and maybe that's just good communication between the receiver and the quarterback. So either way, it turns out to be a great play. The biggest thing I think Prairie View will kind of kick themselves on. I saw the box score, and somebody pointed out 15 penalties in the ball game. Good God, man, 15 penalties, and you end up winning the game. Man, if you weren't a believer and you didn't go to church and get up and go to church in the morning, shame on you, because God is good. That's all I'm gonna say, Prairie View fans. God is good. So yeah, man. Any other thoughts or anything I missed regarding that game? Just a good win for Prairie. I think I saw a note here, and I think G-Boom's in there. Is that like the 8th win in the last 9 meetings between Prairie View and Texas Southern? I think I saw some streak or some kind of.
What the stat is, Brian, first-year coaches win this rivalry.
Oh, is that the stat?
Jackson being the first-year coach. Remember, Bubba won it last year. I'm not Bubba. Dishman won it last year. So outside of Bubba, first-year coaches tend to win this rivalry.
Okay. Well, all right. Good stuff. G Boom says 10 out of the last 11 have gone to Prairie View. Man, 10 out of the last 11. Woo!
And if it wasn't for the 90s, Prairie View would own this series.
Probably so. Sounds a lot like that FAMU Bethune-Cookman series. You have a decade of, you have a blip.
But FAMU still owns that series. Bethune, we just let Bethune back in the team.
G Boom said McKinney at Texas Southern never won it. So okay. I got you. I was trying to pull up my box scores here from last night because for whatever reason I was on the Prairie View site, nothing was there.
They still celebrating.
It's the weekend, man. I'm gonna let them SIDs and folks work.
Man, there are no days off.
Drew's not giving anybody no days off. No days off for SIDs.
No.
No days off. Get back in the lab. All right. Well, that's number 2. Number 3. How about South Carolina State? The South Carolina State Bulldogs, the defending MEAC champs, opening up the season at home against Wofford. I think Wofford is in South Carolina too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And hold on, I'm pulling those numbers up.
South Carolina State won by a score of 16-15 over Wofford.
16-15, and if I'm not mistaken, obviously to set up that game, South Carolina State, here it is. Ryan Stubblefield hit Shamonte Burgess with a 12-yard touchdown with 89 seconds left. It's always cute when the writers break it down instead of saying a minute and 29 seconds, 89 seconds remaining. To give South Carolina State a 16-15 lead. But wait, there's more, because Wofford drove into a position to kick I believe it was a 43-yard field goal attempt to try to win the ball game. I think it was 43 yards. I'm looking here. I saw the video of it. Whatever it was, that kick was wide right. I mean, it was like so far right that he would have needed a hurricane type wind to push it left. So, yeah, thank you. Wofford's in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Okay, I'm not Chuck Hunt would know that, man. Chuck is like the resident historical geographist here. I mean, Chuck knows everything. You're on mute, Drew.
We gonna call it Chuckopedia instead of Wikipedia.
There you go. I love it. Chuckopedia. I love that. Yeah, South Carolina State's defense, somebody said they dominated this game. Wow, they held Wofford to 100. Is that right? Jesus. 130 total yards. Woo! Damn. 130. Wofford was 4-15 on third down. Only got 10 first downs. South Carolina State ran up 408 total yards, 299 passing, 50 pass attempts by South Carolina State. That's different. That's not.
It's not Chinnisberry like.
Yeah, I would thank you. That's what I was looking for, the right way. That's not Chinnisberry ball if you're chucking it up 50 times, but averaging 6 yards per pass, and then they got 109 yards rushing. But still, just to hold somebody to 130
under 150.
Yards, under 150. Usually you say, hey, you hold a team under 200, you should get a win. But anyway, if you hold them under 150, if you hold them to 150, man, I tell you, that's pretty impressive. So I know a lot of people, we weren't sure what South Carolina State was bringing to dinner. Guess what, Drew? We got to pay attention to South Carolina State, man. We might have to start paying attention to South Carolina State. And then the other game that came down to the final seconds, final minute, was North Carolina A&T traveling to Tennessee State in the John Merritt Classic. Looked like a good crowd overall. Didn't see the numbers. Anybody got the attendance numbers on that game? Let me see how quickly I can pull up the scoreboard from that game. Battle of the OVC Big South versus the CAA. See how quickly I can pull that game up.
The way teams leaving the OVC and the Big South, and the CAA, those might be versions to make one super conference.
Yeah, maybe so. 8,000 was the attendance. Well, look, for Tennessee State, that's good.
That's good.
That's good. There's probably 4 to 5 is probably what they average. It feels like that's what they average at a lot of those home games played in Nissan Stadium, which is where that game was played. Here's what I saw from the highlights of that game, Drew. I saw big play after big play after big play. I think Tennessee State broke off, let me see, a touchdown pass play of 82 yards. Then they came back and had a 60-yard rushing touchdown in the third quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, had a 51-yard rushing touchdown. Oh, but A&T said, hold my beer, because they opened the game with a 40-yard touchdown run. And then in the fourth quarter, to cut the deficit to 3, they had a 66-yard pass play. So in total, Drew, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total plays of 40 yards or more? Jeez, man. And the one from Tennessee State, I don't know, did you see the video of this? This was
I did not.
Tennessee State on their YouTube page, they tweeted it out. They did a highlight cut up. And hey, let me stop and say thank you, Tennessee State. Whoever's over Tennessee State media, kudos to creating a highlight reel of the game, which that's another topic for another day. But I would love for more athletic departments, among all the other things that you guys do, to find the resources, the manpower, somebody to cut up just a 5 to 6, 7 minute highlight package of the game. I mean,
Bryan, that sounds good from where you sit at.
I'm asking a lot.
That sounds good from where you sit at.
It does. That's why I'm sitting where I'm sitting, Drew. That's exactly why I'm sitting where I'm sitting. But Tennessee State 1-0, and the general feeling, I was following the Twitter, of our guy David L. Rhodes, and a couple other people, Aggies. I think they were pretty positive about the outcome, because there was a block kick as time expired. A&T was trying to tie the game up, and there was a block kick that would have sent the game to overtime. So I think, A&T sounds like the chicken might actually be worth tasting again for the Aggies. And so I don't know. I think they were pretty positive after the last 2 years of what A&T fans have had to deal with. I think they were pretty positive after that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Despite the fact they haven't beat their Division I opponent in 2 years, I don't think A&T is in the room right now. They're still in the hallway, Bryan, but they're not in the room.
Well, but they got a new coach. So new coach, new culture. The original recipe supposedly is coming back. So I don't know. I don't think you can panic if you're North Carolina A&T until maybe homecoming and you see what the season has looked like. The other schools who are jumping off the bridge, that's a different story. They got returning coaches, and they got belief. And see, that's the thing, Drew. When you have, as a fan, when you believe, and there's nothing worse than having your belief and dreams shattered. And so I don't know, Drew. When that happens, man, it's like, let me see. What does this Nick say? We lost 60 players at Tennessee. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I guess
we lost
to the portal. To the portal, I'm assuming.
Who lost? Tennessee State lost 60 players?
Yeah.
Damn.
Halftime score from Canton, Ohio. Union 17, Miles 3.
All right. Virginia Union 17, Miles 3. So that game is on. And then if you are someone that, like me, is interested in seeing what Taylor Townsend does in the U.S. Open, she is serving down 4-3 in the third. She dominated the first set 6-1, lost the second set 7-6 on a 15-point tiebreaker, Drew. Unbelievable second set. And now she's down. Krejcikova's trying to break her here, down 4. This is a big opportunity. So that's happening on ESPN Plus. So I'm 100% behind Taylor Townsend, riding with Team Taylor. And damn, Krejcikova just broke her. So now Krejcikova's up 5-3, and this dream run that Taylor Townsend is on is very close to being over unless she can kind of rally. So, damn, that's disappointing. She was so close, so close. Well, keep our fingers crossed. All right, let's take a break and come back and talk about the bad losses from week 1, Drew, because, bad losses, man. Bad losses. That's all we
Depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let me see. There we go. When we come back, we will talk about the bad losses a little bit more, talk about the teams that are, on the ledge or in the fan bases that are on the ledge. And, I told Drew we'll start doing a top 5 ranking of teams on the ledge. I don't know if we can find 5. I think we have 3. I know. I think
we
got
got
three.
a solid. It's like a game of spades. We got 3 and 2 possibles.
3 and 2 possibles. All right, 3 and 2 possibles. So, pump the brakes, everybody. If you're a fan and your team didn't have a great week 1, hold tight. Give your teams an opportunity to show you something. What we hear coaches say, the biggest improvement comes from the first week to the second week. Although I'm questioning that a little bit, given a couple teams who played last week and how they played in week 2, but that's what they say. I don't say it. That's what they say. So let's take.
And if you're a couple of programs, the biggest drop off comes from week 1 to week 2 because now everybody has seen what you have.
Exactly. Let's take that break and come back right after this. You're watching the BCSN Sports Wrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
There's a shot.
That might be.
It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
This is Brian Fulford. A.D. Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show. Welcome back to the BCSN Sports Wrap on a Sunday night as we try to hold people off the ledge and instill hope. Keep hope alive, HBCU fans. It's only week 1. Keep hope alive. And I do mean it's week 1. I don't care what you Division II schools want to run out there and say, Drew. It's week 1, doggone it. You can sell that week 0 to some other kid on a corner, but I'm saying it's week 1 anyway. That's just me. All right. Let's see. Couple of chats. Cedric Walker. His favorite teams are 1-0. Hey, that's a good weekend. Isn't that a good weekend, Cedric, man?
Boy, did Florida State put it on Alabama?
Woo! Boy, I got that one wrong. But hey, let me see. Jackson State, Florida State, Mississippi State, Michigan, all 1-0, man. That's a good weekend, man. Question, I'll say it like this. Did you parlay it? Or how about this? Did you have anybody? Have you seen anybody that had the Lee Corso parlay? You know what that is, right, Drew?
No.
All 7 of the colleges that Lee Corso either played or coached at all won on Saturday.
Wow.
I think it was Florida State, Navy, Indiana, Western Kentucky, There was like 7 schools. I don't know what the number is, and he got the headgear right because he picked Ohio State. So
Well, that was
I mean, shout out.
you knew he was gonna pick Ohio State. That was his first headgear. So
Was it really his first headgear?
yes.
Well, look. Oh man, Taylor Townsend. It's over. She lost. Barbara Krejcikova ended up winning. Well, it was a good run, Taylor Townsend. Damn. Heck of a third set by Krejcikova, though. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. But hopefully Townsend can kind of use that to further her career. I heard she's a heck of a doubles player. Hopefully she can carry over that into something. Let me see. What is this? Emmett Jones said, Brian Jenkins took over Edward Waters 7 weeks ago, even though he was already on staff with Toriano Morgan, and they got a big win. Edward Waters with a 41, I think it was 41-14.
We'll talk about that in another segment.
Okay. I'll leave that. I know Doc is Dr. Carey, boy, I tell you. These 1-point losses in the Orange Blossom Classic. Jesus, man.
And Brian, how is it that FAMU in this iteration of the OBC is upside down?
I don't know, man. I'll tell you where they're upside down. They're upside down in the second half. They're upside down too. They have yet to score a touchdown in the second half of 4 games. Yet to score a touchdown in the second half.
In the OBC?
In the OBC.
Wow.
0-8 in third and fourth quarters. Have not scored a touchdown.
Right. And there's another team that is upside down at its own classic. And they come on tonight at 6:00.
Who's that?
That is Tuskegee in the Red Tails Classic.
All right. What time is that game? What time is that game set for?
I believe that's either 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern. Now, the thing about that game is, Brian, the fact that Tuskegee has beaten any team not coached by Maurice Flowers.
Right. Yeah. Good stuff.
But they lost to him twice at Fort Valley and once at Johnson City.
Okay. Appreciate you guys for clarifying or schooling me, educating me a little bit on Taylor Townsend. Doc says she's the #1 doubles player in the world. So that's awesome. Respect. Who is it? Karen even said
7 o'clock,
Karen.
Brian. 7 o'clock Eastern.
Okay, 7 o'clock Eastern. Karen said she's being a great doubles player is a skill. Yeah, so it was a good run. Good run for her. Man, I had her on the money line, even money on that one. God bless it. Anyway, ESPNU Red Tails Classic, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. All right, let's talk about the bad losses from the weekend. Let's start with Thursday because the season started on Thursday. And the Alcorn State Braves started on the road against the Northwestern State Demons. Northwestern State entered the game on a 20-game losing streak. Hadn't won since October something of 2023. And I believe a good friend also had told me that they had shut the program down even prior to, I guess, that. So that's all that Alcorn was walking into. Alcorn was this blew my mind, right? Alcorn was a 10.5-point favorite on the road. I'm sorry. We had to do it, Kelvin. I have to do it to you. You know, it's because here's why. Because when I asked somebody after Alcorn loses this game 20-10, of course, 20-game losing streak ended. I asked a very good friend who knows Alcorn State, and it wasn't you, Kelvin. So there, I wonder what you would have said. I asked, was this loss worse than FAMU's loss to Mississippi Valley State last year? Right? because I know Israel Carey loves to poke at me for the nature of that loss. And the reply was, yes, this is worse. This is a worse loss. Now, in SWAC, in the SWAC or in SWAC world, I don't know, maybe within conference games, Valley will rank as a worse loss. But when you have a Brave, somebody who has been there for a long time, tell you that this loss is worse than that Valley loss, I take a little comfort in that. But unfortunately, not for you Braves fans, though. Drew, what's your take? Is this worse than that? How do you rank this on the scale of losses for Alcorn State? And Brave Nation was upset. I was listening to shows on Friday. I know G, SWAC and a Fool, those guys were livid. So I'm just saying, tough.
Yeah. I may lean toward it being a worse loss because in conference play, in rival type games, anything can happen. You know, teams have a level of familiarity. So yeah, I right now, short term, I think it's a worse loss, and it comes down to one or two things, Brian. Was it lack of talent, lack of passion, or lack of coaching? Jury is still out on which one of those three Alcorn was guilty of, but the verdict was definitely a decisive L. Not you got and Brian, they didn't lose on a fluke. They were, for lack of a better word, dominated in that game, Brian. Dominated. Of the what was it, 4 or 5 games that were on Thursday, that was the one game that I kind of expected to see a dub in.
I had that game added on some parlays, Drew. That's how confident I was in Alcorn State, man. God bless.
This is not Fred McNair's Alcorn State.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
This is not Steve McNair's Alcorn State.
No, it's not. Alcorn committed 15 penalties for 123 yards. So, you commit those kind of penalties. And they committed 3 turnovers, 1 fumble, 2 interceptions thrown. I believe Northwestern scored on one of those turnovers, if I'm not mistaken. I believe one of those was a scoop and score, if I saw that. Oh, Alcorn gave well. See now, so which loss? So okay, now I understand Alcorn fans' dismay now
because the streak ended against Langston for PV, and then that would have been their first SWAC.
First SWAC streak. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, jeez. Okay, so see. Anyway, Jalen Tolbert threw 44 passes, completed 19. Oh, wait a minute. Put that up by saying, wait a minute. That's epic right there. The curse of Fred McNair. That's interesting. Oh, man. That is, hey, look. It's what happens when you treat your legend. FAMU went through that a little bit thanks to Kellen Winslow. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks to him. We went through a similar valley. No pun intended. Yeah, so.
All right. A&T Roy wants to give me a correction. It's not been 2 years since they've won a D1 FCS game. We beat Norfolk in 23. 25 minus 23 is what, Roy?
This is the start of the 25 season.
It's still been 2 seasons.
Okay, I got you. Technicality. We're living on technicalities here, folks. It's the first week of the season.
And it's been damn near 2 years because that was early in 23.
Right. G Boom said, is that like the Comedy curse? Look, right? What, after the Comedy curse, Jackson State went in the valley, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how those things work out. There's a story.
Is it like well, the Fobbs curse for Grambling?
Damn. Oh, we're on a streak here, Drew. That's 4. That's 4 right there. Yeah. See, gotta treat the people who have won championships in your program. You gotta treat them better. You treat them better. You gotta treat them better. Who does Alcorn State have next? Because that's always the interesting thing, right? You talk about going from 1 week to the next week. Let me look here. Alcorn State, after losing that game, I don't have it. It didn't come up quickly. The Williams,
hey,
stop it. It's too soon. It's too soon, Adrian. Too soon to call it the
one
Williams
last curse, Brian.
No. Go away, Adrian. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. No, go away. Let me see. One more space here to see if I can find. For whatever reason, the page isn't pulling up. So I don't know. Somebody tell me who Alabama A&M. Okay, so I didn't know whether that's what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, in a SWAC-ish game.
SWAC-ish. Doesn't count.
Yeah,
doesn't count, but it's a SWAC-ish game.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of Alabama A&M, I know this wasn't on the script, Drew, but I have to talk about this for a second. Alabama A&M and UAPB played 2 opponents that we all knew they weren't going to go.
We're giving them a nice size check.
Yeah, give them a nice check. Take this L, right? Come on over here to Arkansas. Come on over to Texas Tech to take the L. Here's my issue, Drew. And this somehow the NCAA and those people within, the various sports book across the country, there has to be some rule clarifications here, because Arkansas, hold on, what was let me look and see here. Arkansas was a 45.5-point favorite. The over-under was 62.5. Now, I always tell people, when you see big games like this, there's a theory that another guy that I follow and I pay attention to him. It's called when you have a situation that the spread and the total are close, right? You're looking to see, can the team that's the underdog, can they score just enough points to cover? Because usually when you get a high spread and a high total, one or both of those are going to hit. So the theory is you play both of them. And there's a formula to that. And if you ever want to know what the formula is, hit me on a DM and I'll tell you what it is. But for time's sake, I'll just say Alabama A&M covered the 45.5. The total went over 62.5. Bingo, bango, right? Winner, winner, if you played it. And I think I gave that as a piece of advice on the morning game time show on Saturday. But in the case of UAPB versus Texas Tech, right? This game, I'm going to pull it up here. Final score was 67-60. There was no spread. 67-7, excuse me. 67-7. Okay. There was no spread on this game, Drew. Even though there was an opening line of 62.5. I promise you, there was an opening line of 62.5 somewhere. I think ESPN Bet may have put it up, and it quickly kind of went away. But the total was 62.5. And I told people my best bet of the weekend was put the house on the over, because I said Texas Tech themselves will score over 62.5 points. Bingo, bango. But wait, Drew, I come to find out when I go back and look in my account, the funds were refunded to my account. And I inquired. I said, well, wait a minute, what happened? Because the game, they scored over. There was, do the math, 74 total points scored. You know what I found out, Drew? They shortened the third and fourth quarter to 8 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
But if it was over, it was over.
Apparently, there's some rule, deep down in the recesses of this particular place from far away that they said that because it wasn't a full 60-minute game, that the game had to be. It's almost like if there was a lightning delay or a game is canceled because of an injury. It's not an official game, apparently, because it didn't go a full 60 minutes. True. Talk about being livid. And all I can do is just shake my head and say, why are we doing this? Anyway.
Let's move on to some of these other bad losses.
I know. I had to admit that. I was trying to take away from that second bullet point under bad losses. I was trying to stall and take away time. Okay. Team number 2, bad.
We already talked about
FAMU as a bad loss. Can I move off that one?
I mean, we talked about it as a good win and a bad loss in the first segment.
All right.
Good win for Howard.
I know there's some people in the chat room who want to live on that for a moment. But anyway,
you can tune in tomorrow night to the O&G recap.
Don't come on there. I'll block you. I'll put you in timeout or something. Don't come over to that foolishness tomorrow night. Gloat now. I'm not listening to y'all tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say. Fayetteville State loses to Benedict in a battle of CIAA versus the SIAC. Benedict gets a 10-0 shutout on Fayetteville. I mean, what was the record last year of the SIAC versus the CIAA, Drew?
CIAA was 6-0.
Yeah, not anymore. This year,
they were 2-1 yesterday. SIAC was 2-1 yesterday, and as I predicted that they would be 2-2 after this game that's going on right now, the Hall of Fame game, which I am halfway there on this one.
Oh, well, don't get too far ahead, because it's not like Virginia Union is completely pulling away from Miles on this.
I'd say halfway. At the halfway point, Virginia Union's ahead.
Right. Okay.
Right. And then the obviously if that happens, the rubber match would be tonight, Winston-Salem, Tuskegee.
Right. Okay. So, but I was just surprised to see the fact that so Coach Ron Dickerson in his second year at taking over for Chennis Berry has a good. We felt pretty good about Dickerson as a coach. Obviously, tough task with so many guys transferring out of Benedict last year, but pretty impressive win for him to get a 10-0 victory where they shut out Fayetteville State. Fayetteville State has traditionally been one of the better top 4-3 CIAA teams over the last few years. It makes me wonder what we need to pay attention to Benedict going into this year. And what does this mean for Fayetteville State going forward?
Obviously it's non-conference, so it is what it is. But that old CIAA South, there may be a shift of power. We will see tonight whether there's a shift of power in that old CIAA South, where Johnson C and possibly Winston become the class of the old South. Yeah.
Fayetteville State had the advantage in terms of yardage. They outgained Benedict 282 to 254. Excuse me. What killed him though is the missed opportunities, where they had 2 fumbles, 2 missed field goals, 0 red zone chances. That's look, you touchdowns over field goals or points. you got to be able to put the ball through the goalpost, right?
Definitely.
So yeah. So good win for Benedict. Neither team scored in the second half. So it was what it was, but good win for Benedict. Definitely have to pay attention to them down the line. A Thursday night game, Norfolk State and Towson. Just overall a bad look for Norfolk State. There at one point in the game, it was 13-7. Norfolk State was down 13-0 in the first half, I believe.
Yeah.
They actually scored in the third quarter.
back it up. Norfolk had an opportunity to score at the end of the first half, but the touchdown was called back on a penalty, Brian, which left about 3, maybe 4 seconds on the clock. And then they proceeded to go for the field goal because the touchdown got called back and proceed to have the field goal blocked.
Wow.
That
Tough.
shifted the game into where you're getting ready to go, Brian.
Yeah. So Norfolk State did actually score, cut the deficit to 6. It was 13-7. But the second half, late in the fourth quarter, Townsend put a pair of touchdowns up in the fourth quarter to win that ball game 27-7. And I don't know. Well, first off, I'll say this, that the attendance was about 19,000, which I believe is the second largest non-homecoming crowd.
Great crowd.
Yeah, I'll give Norfolk State in the community.
Especially for a Thursday night game.
Thank you. That part right there. It was a Thursday night. I think you might have had definitely 25 if it were Saturday. I think you could have had more people if that game had been played on a Saturday. But what worries me for Norfolk State, and look, Townsend wasn't going to be a pushover opponent, but after what Virginia State did, Virginia State and Norfolk State play next week. Virginia State played on the same day, got a 35-7 win, and I think did they score 35 straight? Is that one way or the other? I don't know if they gave up 7 to start or whether they scored 35 and then gave up 7.
We'll get to that in the statement victory segment.
Okay, gotcha. Well, Norfolk State has to deal with Virginia State this week, and I'm already calling early upset alert, Drew. I'm putting them on notice. I may be in the pick 5 contest. I may be picking Virginia State next Saturday because that's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Brian, what concerns me is 39 yards on the ground by Norfolk State.
Oof. Yeah.
Along with quarterback inefficiencies. You can't even hide your quarterback if you're only going to gain 39 yards on the ground, Brian.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So tough one. One more bad loss to deal with. Lincoln, PA played Grand Valley State. Is that a road game for Lincoln?
Yes, that was a road game.
All right. Grand Valley State, one of the powerhouses in Division II football, 45-9. 45-9 loss for the Lions. Gave up 481 yards, 230 on the ground, turned the ball over 3 times. Their only touchdown came on a short run. But Grand Valley State had 5 different players score touchdowns. Yeah, Drew. How far away is Grand Valley State from Lincoln, PA?
Chuckopedia, can you give us that distance, please?
Chuckopedia, right?
I believe Grand Valley State's in Michigan, if I remember correctly, though.
I thought so too. Sounds right. Look, you got to play somebody in the off season, right? This is where HBC for us comes in. We need more CIAA versus SIC. Don't send your team out to the Great Lakes to go play a Division II team that you don't have a chance at beating. Don't do it. Was Grand Valley State paying Lincoln, PA that kind of money? If that's the case, Lincoln, PA would have done better just to go play Temple.
But
get a paycheck.
I guarantee you that's a one-off. They probably got something to go do that game.
Okay.
So because I almost guarantee you Grand Valley State is not returning that game.
Yeah. Well, okay. So do we buy into the belief that there are good losses and bad losses, Drew? Do you buy into that? You're a coach. I'm a coach. You buy into the good losses. Okay.
Yes.
Because some people just say a loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss. It goes as an L on your record. But I consider it a good loss when there is improvement on what you did, Brian. There are just some teams that out talent other teams. A bad loss to me is when teams have equal talent, or the team that has greater talent loses to the other team. If teams have equal talent and they get blown out, that's a bad loss. If a team that has greater talent loses to the other team, especially if you lose by more than one score in football, that's a bad loss. Now, anybody, things, and we're talking non-rival games when we're talking about this, because, like I say, anything can happen in a rival game. Anything can happen with conference opponents. But in these non-conference opponents, yeah, there are bad losses.
Yes, Adrian.
Yes.
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 And I'm kind of like Emmett though. No moral victories. No moral victories.
But see, the thing is,
there you go.
All right, let's take.
There you go, Kerry. Come on now.
That was a bad loss.
It was a bad loss.
Let's hold it with that Valley. Let's stay with Valley. You cannot tell me Valley's loss to Southern was a bad loss.
No, it wasn't. No.
That was a good loss because they were competitive.
Yeah.
They showed market improvement over the Valley that we know from the last couple of seasons.
Right.
So although a loss hurts, that is not what I would consider a bad loss. If anything, that was a cheap victory for Southern.
Oh, see, that's a new category: cheap victory.
I don't know if that's the word for it, but it was not an impressive victory.
Let me see. I'm looking at the stats from that game. Southern and Valley.
That's a different segment.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
that's a different segment.
I'll stick to the script.
We're saving that one for the good set.
So I set that up because these are the games that you could, if you're one of these fan bases, you could look at the loss with rose-colored glasses, keep the cup half full, and have some hope for week number 2. And I think the most obvious team in this category is Alabama State. On the road against an FBS team, UAB, although it's a group of 5, you are competitive to the point where you put up 42 points. When's the last time you've seen an offense put up 42 points against an FBS? I think that first off was
the last time you just
heck.
saw Alabama State put up 42 points against anybody?
Stop right there. There you go. Now you're talking. They gave up 52. So we're not used to Eddie Robinson's defense giving up that. But it's a 10-point ball game. And then, of course, the return of Andrew Body, who thankfully they let him start the game and didn't play musical quarterback chairs with him this season. And all he does is go out and throw for 312 and 4 touchdowns, and then runs for 119 and another score. To the point where you got Trent Dilfer after the game tampering. No, just kidding. He comes up and congratulates Andrew Body. I always liked Dilfer. Dilfer, he's the one who kind of coined the Dilfer dimes, but I think Dilfer recognizes good quarterback play. But I saw a post game that, he gave some props to Andrew. But Alabama State outgained UAB 514 to 520. I mean, that's about as even a game as you can get. I mean, they covered the 21.5. So if you're an Alabama State fan and you took the points, I mean, hey, you were feeling good. Not only were you feeling good in your pocket, but you're feeling good about the chances of Alabama State if Andrew Body stays healthy.
That's a big if. Brian, to show how close this game was, if Andrew Body does not throw that interception midway through the third quarter, this is an entirely different ball game, Brian.
Point.
So, and if this SWAC offense this Alabama State offense is what we're going to see come SWAC play. And we see that traditional Eddie Robinson defense. Them Hornets going to be a problem, y'all. When it comes to SWAC play.
Emmett says Alabama State DC went to UAB this past season. That's right. I do remember hearing about the DC leaving. That's interesting. Well, we'll see. Remains to be seen. Another team that has to feel good about their performance on Thursday was Delaware State, and the debut of Deshaun Jackson. Had a really good debut. So, among all the coaches that had good debuts, I would definitely say Deshaun Jackson's debut was pretty good. Delaware State, they were 29.5-point underdogs. They end up losing to their rival on Route 1, 35-17. The Delaware Blue Hens are a team that are moving from FCS up to FBS. But they showed well. Delaware State had 349 total yards. 200 of those were on the ground, led by Marquise Gillis with 123 rushing. I remember last year, Delaware State had started the season off pretty well. They had a good rushing attack last season. Of course, they didn't win very many games, but they were a competitive team early in the season. It'll be interesting to see if Delaware State can actually produce a win or two in the next couple of weeks, so that way they can keep guys engaged in this season, right?
Yeah. As we get ready to go on break and talk about some more of these good losses, Brian, I want to know everybody's comment. Who better impressed you, Delaware State or Norfolk State on Thursday?
Wait a minute. What was okay? Does that deserve a poll question? Does that need to go up as a poll? That as a poll? Who had the better debut? Mike Vick for Norfolk State or Deshaun Jackson? I think that's going to be an easy one, but do you want to throw anybody else in there just for purposes of the poll, or just leave it to those two?
Who else made their coaching debut? T-Buck.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Let's put T-Buck in there. Let's give him
okay.
3.
All right. There we go. 3 games. Okay. We'll do that. All right. Let me take us in the break. You're watching the BCSN SportsWrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. My JBN Online is where you can find the poll I'm about to throw up.
Which ex-NFL player had the best coaching debut, despite the loss?
Which ex-NFL player had the better head coaching debut
despite the loss
in week 1?
I said ex-NFL, Dr. Cavill.
Clarification. All right, clarification. And it's not his first time. He's been a college coach.
Yes.
He's been a college coach. I know he's been a college coach. All right. Let's take us to break. You're watching the BCSN SportsWrap on the Black College Sports Network on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram Live, and Twitter. Hit the thumbs up and the like button wherever and however you're watching the show. Would be greatly appreciated. We'll be back in just a moment.
I'm returning to Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being heard.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
Welcome back to the BCSN Sports Wrap. Head over to our YouTube page, MyJBN Online. Answer the poll question: which ex-NFL player who had their coaching what's the question? Which ex-NFL player had the most impressive performance
despite the loss,
their HBCU head coaching debut, despite the loss? And the nominees are Deshaun Jackson of Delaware State, Michael Vick of Norfolk State, Terrell Buckley of Mississippi Valley State. Head over
and one NFL head coach is going to have a bad loss, and that is Coach Good from Miles. As wait a minute, they're down 24-3 with 8 minutes to go. Virginia Union was looked like they were getting ready to go in, but they just fumbled the ball. They gave the ball right back to Miles, but Miles is backed up against their own goal line, recovering the ball around the 5-yard line.
That should have been a scoop and score. Well, no. Quarterback did a good job. Am I ahead of you? I wonder if I'm ahead of you watching this. I've got the ball, Virginia Union, inside the 10.
No, you'll play behind me then.
Oh, okay. 24
that was on the pick.
Okay, I'm showing 24-3 right now.
Right, it's 24-3, and then next play, running back tries to do the tries to leap over a player. And ball gets popped off, fumble, and now it's recovered by Miles. And they down to 10 on 6.
Yeah, wow, I see it. Okay, there you go.
94 yards to go.
Okay, wow. Okay, good stuff. Amanda said Mike Vick looked like he was about to cry during his post-game interview. Well, I mean, come on, Amanda, that's hardcore. You know, I mean, what are they tears of frustration? Are they tears of a lot of work goes, and he's probably realizing that's a lot of work that goes into this coaching thing. And
here's
it's okay for men to cry. It's not all bad.
And here's the thing for a lot of former pro athletes, for a lot of them, especially somebody who had the natural God-given ability of a Michael Vick, he may not have had to work as hard as some other people. When you get to this coaching thing, this is hard work.
Because you don't have control of the outcome, really. It's up to the young men that you're leading. It's up to other people to control the outcome to some degree.
That's the most frustrating part of it, is that you do not have control. You're at the mercy of 18 to 23, now say 25-year-olds.
Yeah. Grown. Like there's no worse feeling than having your job security relying on the backs of 18 to 24-year-olds. And if you remember what it was like being that age, scary. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Scary.
All right.
Let's continue on with some good wins.
Good losses.
Good losses. Morgan State. The Morgan State Bears traveled south to South Alabama. Now, first off, that in itself is impressive. I don't know how many times, for a MEAC school, especially a team up in the Northeast, Baltimore to travel south. Where's South Alabama at?
It's in Mobile, which means there is no direct flight from Baltimore to Mobile, Alabama. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah.
So that,
and if they had to bust that, hopefully they didn't have to bust that.
I'm hoping they chartered that, because if you had to go through some airports to connect down there, I would love to be the travel agent to make that commission.
Yeah, definitely. The final score was South Alabama 38, Morgan State 21. But don't let the final score tell you about that game, because Morgan was only outgained by South Alabama by 27 yards, 367 to 340, and the Bears had more time. They controlled the time of possession more than South Alabama. Jason Collins Jr. had 83 rushing yards, scored twice. Randall, I hope I say his last name right, Nowden added another rushing score.
You said it better than I would have.
Huh?
You said that better than I would have.
Well, thank you. Karen said you fly to Tallahassee and then drive to Mobile. That's not a
flying into Tallahassee from Baltimore.
It's not a direct flight. That can't be.
No, that's not a direct flight.
So that's going from Atlanta. So what that is Baltimore to Atlanta, Atlanta to Tallahassee, then get on a
3-hour bus ride. A 3-hour bus ride for Mobile.
You might as well take the plane. And there's got to be a plane that goes from Atlanta to Mobile. It's got to.
Yeah, for about $500 a pop.
Okay. I would love to. I gotta find out. We gotta ask somebody. Who do we know at Morgan State? I want to know more about the logistics of that. I'm very curious. My instant curiosity is piqued on the logistics of how Morgan State moved to that game. I would love to know. I would love to know, man. You know who can ask? We gotta ask Banks. I gotta reach. I don't know. I don't know why. Like Banks is he's an insider. But anyway. I mean, Malcolm might be. Who knows? I'm not gonna doubt it. I'm gonna send him a DM. I'll be like, man, do you know anything about the charter plans?
And Karen Griffin hit it on the head. You probably fly to NOLA and then bus over from New Orleans, which is still 3 hours.
Okay, good deal. One more team that had Miak Mike. So Amanda said, ask Miak Mike. Okay, true. I'll reach out to him via DM and see if he knows. We follow each other. Another team that had a good loss, again, not being tongue in cheek, but it is what it is. Clark Atlanta taking on Valdosta State. Valdosta State, a traditional Division II power, former team. Tremaine Jackson led
runners
to
up in the D2 last year.
Right, under head coach Tremaine Jackson, now the current coach of Prairie View. First off, before I say anything, when I saw the video of this game, and I happened to catch maybe a minute or two, props to Teddy Keaton and whoever at Clark decided to go with the old Atlanta Falcon helmet color scheme. I love it. Absolutely love the red helmet, 80s or 70s Atlanta Falcon color scheme. I love that. That was awesome. That was a good look.
Well, Brian, the Panthers along with the Maroon Tigers were two schools that received a helmet grant from the Atlanta Falcons and received brand new helmets from the Atlanta Falcons, which might be a little bit of reason why the color scheme kind of fit. Morehouse got the black helmets. Morehouse got
you guys have. Oh, okay. So now does Morehouse have two helmets now? Is that what the case is? You guys have two different helmets?
No. Well, this year we're going 100% black all year.
Oh, really? No maroon helmets? No white helmets? Didn't you guys have white helmets last year?
We've got all three, but because of a lot of it has to do with the safety technology of these new helmets. We're going to stay with the latest technology.
So what's Clark going to do? Is Clark going to do the red helmets all season?
I'm not
sure.
You would
know. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I know we're going to stay with the black helmets just on the safety aspect because those are our newest helmets.
All right. Well, that game was a close game, and Valdosta was nationally ranked number 12. Final score, though, was Valdosta State 31, Clark 28. The Panthers had the lead 3 different times in this ball game, including leading 28-21 late in the third quarter. Quarterback Zy McDonald threw for 234 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran for another score. Alan Riggins added 59 yards. David Martin and Darren Stevens both caught touchdown passes. They even got an interception, Clark did, from their defensive from their defense. And they sacked Valdosta State a pair of times, at least twice. So the final 10 points of the game scored by Valdosta. This game was not at Valdosta, though, so it wasn't like it was a true road game, correct?
It was at Legion Field. It was a neutral site. Legion Field in Birmingham.
Okay.
It was part of a doubleheader.
Yes. I remember Sly coming on and talking about
with Fort Valley playing. Who did Fort Valley? West Alabama, I believe, in the second game.
How did they fare in that second game?
Let's put it like this: Gulf South won both. The second game was although Fort Valley had a good showing, it was not as competitive as his first game.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
And I didn't clarify for Emmett. I did say both Morehouse and Clark Atlanta got those helmets from the Atlanta Falcons. Morehouse got the black helmets, and then Clark Atlanta got what they received. So, but both teams will be donning brand new helmets for the 25 season.
Okay, good stuff.
We had one more in that category, Brian.
Is that the Allen Moorhead State game?
Yes.
So Allen University, Division II, SIC, taking on Moorhead State, an FCS team. Out of what division or what conference is Moorhead State in? Pop quiz. All right, no worries. We'll just call them an FCS team. Allen ends up losing that game 31-24. The Yellow Jackets had a 17-14 lead at the half. The game was tied at 24 late in the fourth quarter, so they had a chance, right?
Yeah. So skip that next one. Skip that next one.
I was gonna say, the defense forced 2 turnovers, including an interception in the third. So a pretty good showing for Allen, Division II opponent, taking on an FCS team. Pretty good showing, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good showing.
And Brian, I don't know how to classify this next one. How do we classify Valley and Southern?
Well, look, for Valley, that's where all the positives are for Valley. Now, 34-29. Let's be realistic, okay? Why? You know how I always do. I do things based on expectation.
Expectations.
Southern was a 12-point favorite, 12.5-point favorite. On the road. So Valley covered as home dogs.
What was the over-under on that game?
What's that?
Do you have the over-under on that game?
It was 49.5, so the game went over. It went over. Valley actually had, let me see. The game was tied at 3 in the opening quarter. I believe Valley took the lead with 2:41 remaining in the second quarter, 16-10, before Southern scored a touchdown with about 42 seconds left at the end of the second quarter, first half. Then Trey Holly probably on Southern's first offensive possession with 12:53, scores another touchdown to go up 24-3. Valley answers with two more scores, a 21-yard field goal, which cut it to 24-16. Then they had a fumble return for a touchdown. All this is in the third quarter. Cut the deficit to 2. They got the, let me see, 16. They actually, I don't know, the numbers are kind of odd here. Did they get the 2-point conversion? Let me see. They missed the 2-point conversion because I think they tried to tie it up. They were down 2, attempted to tie it up. Now, that could have been huge with 5:54 to play. Southern then answers with a 32-yard field goal in the fourth quarter, comes back with another touchdown, a 25-yard run by Jason Gabriel to go up 34-22. Valley comes back, gets a touchdown with 1:45 to play to cut the deficit with the extra point to 5, 34-29. And then, probably an onside kick failed. But Southern's quarterback, I think we got to mention this, Drew, Jalen Woods took a nasty hit in which, by the video replay, it looked like he was in the process of sliding while the Valley defender was going at him. Nobody, I don't believe anybody was ejected. There was no video replay.
And you know why, Brian?
Why?
You have to have a flag before you could even get to that level.
So that's why there was no replay.
There was no flag on the play.
Okay, because that game was on SWAC TV because they were talking about.
Yeah, they had replay,
they could have.
You cannot go to replay for targeting without a flag.
Okay. And thank you, Adrian. Cameron McCoy ended up getting hurt. So I guess there were some other. Look, the question is, if Valley, put like this, if you're playing Valley and you come out of that game worse for wear, even though you got a victory, was it a good win? I don't know if that was a good win for Southern because it may end up having bigger ramifications on your season. Yeah, Israel said Southern is now moving into quarterback 3, and it just opens their, look, they dealt with this last year, if I'm not mistaken. Southern
deals with this every year, Brian.
I was just about to say, they're searching, starving for consistency.
Some of it is due to injury. Some of it is due to performance, Brian. That Southern goes through quarterbacks. So is Southern going to be this year's Alabama State in the quarterback room, Brian? And y'all don't want to hear it, but you got somebody on that Southern staff who was used to dealing with this by one Fred McNair. And if y'all remember, Alcorn always had the number 2 guy who was ready, who was quickly able to become the number 1 and would always take the number 1's job. They did that for about a 5-year, 6-year stretch there in Lorman, Mississippi, Brian. Mm-hmm. So if anybody has a formula on how to do it, it's Fred McNair. But you got to have the talent in there before you can even think about doing that. And Southern has not been able to get the talent in at the QB position.
Well,
and just so everybody knows, Southern does not have their first bye until after they play Fresno State, which is September 13th.
Oh. So
they've got 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks.
They've got 2 more weeks before they have a bye. And they get I think they have 3 byes this year because of playing in week 0.
Yeah. Well, keep those Jaguars in your prayers, but I would say that's a great example of the good loss theory that Valley experienced. I mean, look, T-Buck is not going to, be excited about losing, period. And how long has it been since, as a coach, or you've heard a Valley coach go into the press conference, and I guarantee at some point you'll hear him talk about the missed opportunities and the chances they had to win, and actually be able to truthfully say, we had chances to win that we didn't take advantage of, and we got to be better.
When is the last time we talked about Valley in week 1?
Thank you. And as long as we put a few minutes into talking about Valley, that's a first.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's good for Valley. All right, let's go through this statement victories. Statement victories over the weekend. Starting off with the Albany State Golden Rams, favorites in the preseason SIAC rankings, going to Shaw. This was a close game last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think, didn't Shaw beat?
Shaw won. No, it wasn't close.
I thought
Shaw won this game. Yeah, it was close, but Shaw won.
It was close by kickoff, right? At kickoff.
No, it was a competitive game. Well,
that's what I thought.
Shaw ran away. Albany got back into it. Shaw
at the end of the game, when they're like there was a Shaw's nice it was a finish, a fantastic finish there at the end, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Last year. Nothing was close about this one. Nothing was close except the kickoff. Albany State 51-7 over Shaw. The Golden Rams put up 487 total yards, 311 on the ground.
That is so backwards in today's game, Brian. Usually those are passing numbers, not rushing numbers.
Yeah. Tient Weiss, I hope I said his name right. Tient. All right. 130 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Knowles had 2 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown as well. Special teams had a 90-yard kickoff return. That's always a good feeling when your special teams can come through like that. And Albany State defense held Shaw to 57 rushing yards and forced 4, not 1, not 2, 4 turnovers. Yeah.
So,
pretty
Brian,
statement victory. In week 1, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You're probably looking at the offensive player of the week in the SIAC. Knowles. You're looking at the special teams player of the week and Watts in this game.
Hold on, Drew, because you were there at this next game in Beantown, and the guys from Johnson
in the
SIAC.
I say in the SIAC.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying D2 overall. Okay, I got you.
In the SIAC. And since you're getting ready to go there, I am getting ready to step out the room.
No, don't you dare. Don't do that. I'll be quick. This will be quick. This won't hurt. Anyway, Johnson C. Smith versus Morehouse in Boston, playing on the campus of Harvard, right, Drew? Is that where they're playing at Harvard University?
Yes.
What was the attendance? Anyway, 45-9 was the final score at the Essence HBCU Classic. I think you posted or something that it was like 20-something thousand.
Brian, I would estimate about 18, but they only had 9 on the official attendance. So both institutions
somebody dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, no, both institutions can y'all check those numbers, because let me put it to you like this. There were more people at the Morehouse Johnson C. Smith game than Harvard draws for its rival being Princeton.
Wow, really? And somebody said that? Did somebody say that from Harvard?
That was the Harvard athletic director to the Morehouse's athletic director.
Okay, that's good to know. See, that's some inside stuff that might not get reported.
Yeah, that was a statement made, from somebody at Harvard.
Okay. See, when you got an insider, you can get that kind of intel. Yeah, I won't go too deep in the woods this one, Drew. I know this one hurt, but Kelvin Durham, 270 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. There goes Drew. And the Golden Bulls defense forced 4 interceptions, held Morehouse to just 53 rushing yards. All right, we're done. All right. Moving over to another statement win, this time on the FCS.
Hold up, Brian. I do want
level.
to mention one thing.
Yeah.
Linebacker Sean Johnson of Morehouse, 17 tackles on the day.
Well, he should have had 17 tackles. Had to do a lot. Had to do a lot
See,
of work.
I'm trying to spin a positive, and there you go taking a shot.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. All right. Congratulations, Sean. You might get Defensive Player of the Week in the SIC. Definitely worthy candidate.
Sure had his opportunities.
He sure had his opportunities. Jackson State against Hampton, the defending champs, 10-game winning streak at home hosting Hampton. How about the fact, props to Hampton for actually traveling west of Alabama, rather. I don't know when the last time that Hampton has traveled that far.
Past Birmingham.
Yeah, exactly. But this game was a close game for about 3.5 quarters. Score was tied 14-14 going into the fourth quarter, about middle of the fourth quarter, before Jackson State piled up, got 2 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter. Ahmad Miller ran wild. Just when, Jackson State, you didn't know who was going to be the next great Jackson State running back. Ahmad Miller's his name. 182 rushing yards on 12 carries. Now, of course, that was in large part to a 76-yard touchdown run, but even take that one away, Drew, I mean, that's still pretty impressive. 11 carries, 100-something yards at that point. I mean, that's almost 10 yards a carry. So that's pretty good for Miller. I believe he's also I heard Charles talk about this. He's the younger brother of a former Jackson State linebacker, Aubrey Miller. Yeah. Jackson State had 305 rushing yards as a team, scored all 4 of their touchdowns on the ground. I don't know if that should worry you, but it is what it is. The defense recorded 11 tackles for loss, 4 sacks. Quincy Ivory had 8 total tackles and 2 sacks in that contest. 2 things from that game, Drew. Definitely Jackson State, nice, impressive win, got their 11th consecutive win. But how about Hampton? Hampton showed themselves. Hampton, over the last couple of seasons, has really been a very good team against other HBCUs. Obviously, that's who they play usually in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season. Pretty impressive performance, traveling to Jackson State for the home opener or the season opener, and then being competitive, being in the ball game with about, middle of the third quarter. So, props to Jackson State for handling business and looking good, running the ball, but props to Hampton as well. I think both sides can feel pretty good about that outcome. Yeah?
Yes, and speaking of touchdowns, Brian, Virginia Union just scored a touchdown with 16 seconds remaining in the third quarter to go up 31-3 over Miles.
All right. I think I'm going to call Sharpie on that game. I'm going to say ball game. Virginia Union. Good stuff for the Panthers.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, Brian, we've got a couple minutes left in this show. Dr. Kavir released his top 7 this morning, Brian. And here we go.
Now, hold on. Let me ask this question, because I'm usually a voter in this. I was not a voter on this particular poll. Has he closed off?
Neither did I, because
okay. So I didn't know whether he has closed off his the list of voters that he's reaching out to, or maybe we both missed the email. I didn't know. I just wanted to kind of.
I because of all the moving parts that I had with that classic in Boston yesterday, I did not have opportunity to even submit my vote to Dr. Kavir. So quickly going through top 7. Southern fell from number 4 down to number 7, 1-1. Howard 1-0 moved into the poll at number 6. Tennessee State
deserved
at number 5, 1-0. Prairie View rose from number 7 to number 4. It's
I
1
think
and
that's
0.
a bit high. That's a bit high.
Yeah.
For a
North
team that won
Carolina.
on the last second. They won on the last second play. Come on, voters.
Yeah. North
Anyway.
Carolina Central, who once again showed that they have opening day classic hangover.
Yeah.
Fail
Yeah.
with from number. Well, they stayed at number 3. They were number 3 last time. They are a 1 and 1. South Carolina State rose from number 4 to number 2 with their impressive victory. And remaining at number 1 are the Jackson State Tigers, Brian. So I got to talk about it this morning. Your opinions on the poll, Brian?
All right. So I'm not gonna lie. If I were voting, okay, I would probably have gone South Carolina State 2. I probably would have put Howard 3. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where Howard was previously, but I would have probably moved Howard 3.
Howard was outside of the top 7.
Okay, but were they in the top like 14? Were they in the top 10?
Yes, they were in the next quadrant or the next third.
So I probably would have voted Howard 3. And then probably would have gone Central 4. Tennessee State would have stayed at 5. Then I would have gone with Prairie View because, again, you barely won a game, and you committed 15 penalties. So you probably, again, you God is good. That's all I'm going to say, Prairie View. God is good. And so I would have put Prairie View probably at number 6, and I would have left Southern at probably left Southern at 7. So that's the only little tweak I would have made. I hated the fact that Ford A&M dropped from 2 to not even receiving votes. I mean, come on, man. Did you not see the stats? Not receiving votes. Come on, man. Y'all are just being evil and you're just hating the hate. But of course.
Brian.
Will, that's good, Will. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Will. Nice.
Brian, any argument to putting Alabama State in despite the loss?
No. You lost. I would rather drop FAMU to 7. If he like Dim Boy said, dropping Southern out, I would move FAMU from 2 down to 7 because, again, if you look at the game as a whole, FAMU held Howard to less than 200 yards. They had a lead with a minute and something, and I mean, come on. Again, y'all just being evil. Y'all being spiteful because it's FAMU. And so any chance y'all get to rubbing in, y'all are having y'all fun with it. I get it. I understand you pollsters. I understand how you pollsters think. We didn't score a touchdown. I get it. We didn't score a touchdown. Okay. But we still held them to 150 yards. And go look at the defensive stats. That's all I'm going to tell you. Special defensive stats, but I get it. You got to score touchdowns, I guess, in order to really be impressive. And had we scored 1 touchdown, you guys might be thinking a little bit different. Okay.
Before I get to Dr. Cavill's poll, Curtis Allen from
I love
Virginia Union. Curtis Allen from Virginia Union has racked up a Black College Hall of Fame classic record, 180 yards on the ground, and we're just now starting the fourth quarter.
Who is this that's doing this? Is this
the Virginia Union running back?
Is this Jada Byers' twin? Well, who is this guy? Who is? Oh God, he just hurdled somebody. Holy cow! Yeah, this is like the little brother of Jada Byers. Who is this kid?
What I told you, all they do is reload up at Union, especially in the running back and offensive line position.
He's a bigger version of Jada Byers. Who is this kid? Curtis Allen. Curtis Allen is his name. Wow. Hold on. He just has a record. He has a record here in the Hall of Fame Classic.
That's what I just said, Brian.
I'm sorry. I'm behind.
Yes, you are behind.
Well, you know what happened, Drew? When you said it, they went to the clip of him hurdling somebody, and I got excited. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
So once again, here's I need you to retort Dr. Cavill.
Yes, I absolutely would, Doc, because here's why. Texas Southern. Where was Texas Southern ranked in Dr. Cavill's poll? Middle tier?
Around the 10, 11 mark. If I remember
FAMU
correctly.
was the second number 2 team. So Howard coming in, winning the way they did on a last-second field goal, more impressive victory than Prairie View beating a team that you probably were favored to win in the first place, but nobody really had high expectations for either team in the preseason. That's all I'm saying. So my kids make fun of me when I do this. I notice that. I do this a lot, this whole scales of justice thing. And now I got all my kids in class, when they're asking me questions, they do this. Hey, Mr. Fulford, and I'm like, I see what I just let it go. But they're very smart kids, and but anyway.
Only thing I gotta say is I'm not sure about Tennessee State at 5 when you beat one of the bottom 3 teams in the top 21.
Doc, hold on. They went on the road. Doc, they went down the street. What do you mean they went on the road? Doc, they went down the street. That is not going on the road. Howard came from D.C. to South Florida. That is a big difference. Stop it. I love you, Doc. And I usually get everything wrong because Doc is way smarter than me. But this one, I feel like I can poke my chest out and say, Prairie View went down the road. Howard had to get on a flight. And that probably was an 18-hour flight from D.C. to South Florida. I'm over-exaggerating the numbers, but I bet it was a longer road trip, even on a plane, a longer road trip than getting on a bus going from the northwest side of Houston to South Houston or wherever the stadium is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, come on, Doc, don't do that.
Quick, Brian, before we get out of here, Brian.
Hold on, I got to go through the pick. I got to show people the pick 5 standings.
Okay,
and then real quick. So go ahead, get your whatever you're gonna say.
I was gonna ask you who's in the room looking at the ledge, Brian.
Definitely FAMU, look, Rattler Nation and Brave Nation. I mean, they're fit to be tied. You could just, stay away from Rattlers on Twitter because you might get cussed. And I don't know if Brave Nation is as venomous as Rattler Nation is, but you venture out there on your own if y'all want to poke fun at FAMU right now, because you do that on your own. Who was the third team we talked about? Because I've forgotten. Who was the third team?
I can't even mention the third team that we talked about, Brian. I know who they were, but I can't mention them, Brian.
Oh, I know.
So I can't say anything.
Well, we'll leave that one alone. Okay.
What about Shaw and Fayetteville State? Are they in the room? Looking at the window?
Non-conference games. Look, Shaw. Well, for Fayetteville, look, Shaw. I don't know if people don't always have high expectations for Shaw, even though they did have a good season last year. Fayetteville State controlled that game. They just didn't take advantage of opportunities. And it was game number 1. So the biggest difference is how you lost. Like, thank you, Johnny. Appreciate your donation. How you lose, I think, would send you to the ledge. So it's not the loss. Like, North Carolina Central having the classic hangover. And, Southern. Now Southern fans, I would maybe say Southern, if they aren't in the room or on the ledge,
they're knocking on the door.
They're walking to the bridge because they're looking at like, damn, we lost last week. And even when we win, we lose because we just lost 2 quarterbacks and maybe a running back or 2 or some other things I saw. So I know that's got to be like a head scratcher for Southern. And then you got Alabama A&M coming in next week. So yeah, they may be, when you say in the hallway, walking towards the bridge, knocking on the door. Yeah, they're close. So Southern is close. Who were the 2 possibles? I definitely don't think A&T. We mentioned this offline. I don't think
A&T is not there. Valley is not there.
And then
right now.
you talked about schools like UAPB. Come on, you really didn't have any expectation for that game, did you? You UAPB fan, you didn't have an expectation of that game. You mean you knew what was coming?
Is Norfolk there?
Not yet, but give it. By the time we come next week, let's reevaluate where Norfolk is next week. That will be something, because I'll say this now. Norfolk State losing to Division II Big Brother Virginia State in a similar fashion that you just lost to Townsend, that will have people like, oh man, what we're further away than I thought we were. Watch how many times you see Norfolk State people, media people say that. Well, it's the first year for Mike Vick, and we're further away than where we thought we were. Dawson Odoms really left the cupboard bare. I mean, when he left, he just took all the food out the cabinet and he left. That's all. That's what you're going to hear.
Bethune-Cookman.
Expectations. Did you really think you were going to play Willie Simmons in an opening season game and get a win? Hell, I mean, Bethune got a win. They got a field goal to start, but I mean, this was the tune-up game for Bethune-Cookman. Next week will be more of a litmus test. And then don't they have a D2 team? When do they play Clark? Is that next week or the week after?
I think
that's what you got to worry about. That's what you got to worry about.
Yeah. How about Savannah State? 41-14 to Everett.
Where were they predicted?
Middle of the road at best.
Yeah. See, I don't think I don't think those are issues yet that you got to worry about.
Lincoln, PA.
Yeah, no.
Bluefield State.
Expectation, huh?
Bluefield State.
You said Bluefield State? You're kidding me, right?
Last one. Elizabeth City.
Again, you're kidding me, right?
Okay. Let's get to the Pick Fives.
All right. So the Pick Five contest, shout out to those of you who joined the Pick Five contest, the BCSN Pick Five contest. These are the standings after week one. Shout out to D-Champ, Super Dave, ODB, Grady NC, She Loves Thee, Timona, Flicks, and SBTHAP, SBT Hap, all going 5-0. Now, the way we do this is you earn points. Every game is a point, but you get a bonus point when your winning pick, it's like a confidence pick. So of the 5 games that you pick, which game is your confidence pick? Which game do you say, oh, I'm definitely winning this game? And that game you get 2 points instead of 1. So that's why you see people, the 5-0 people all get 6 points. You'll see the 4-1s. Most of them won their confidence play.
Brian, I'm disappointed with you. You did not win your confidence pick.
Well, you know who my confidence pick was, don't you?
Brian, head not heart.
One of my losses. Look, that's why I'm holding Brave Nation and Rattler Nation off the ledge, because I picked those 2 teams. One of those 2 was my confidence pick, and I'm sitting there holding them off the ledge. I'm like, oh, hey, look, I know I'm right there with you, but it's week 1. So yeah, I went 3-2 thanks to FAMU and Alcorn losing. That's how I ended up 3-2, and I got a long road to travel, man. I'm down 2 in the win column, and I'm down 3 in the points.
Yeah. By the way, if you're watching the game on the NFL Network, Commissioner Dr. Anthony Holloman of the SIAC and Commissioner Jackie McWilliams Parker are being interviewed right now.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the games. Hold on. Can I take that? You can take that off. Hold on. There you go. Okay. These are the games that we've got for this upcoming week, Drew. So these are some of the games that are slated to get picked for week number 2. Now, one of the things we did that I made new in the contest this year, anytime an FCS team is playing a Power 4 team, I'm not even putting that on the menu. So those are freebies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even doing that. So those games aren't even on the schedule. I took those off the board. This week, though, what we've got Delaware State hosting Albany from the CAA. Howard traveling to Temple. Temple is an FBS in the American Atlantic. Tennessee State is hosting North Dakota State. That's an FCS matchup. We've also got I feel like they took some games off my board. Yeah, I didn't even put the Grambling Ohio State game on the board. That was so unnecessary. Not even giving that one away. Jackson State traveling to Southern Miss of the Sun Belt. That one's on the board. Florida A&M at Florida Atlantic of the American. That one's on the board.
Although after how FAMU played, I would reconsider that one.
Well, hey, Florida Atlantic, they lost like 36-7 to somebody. I mean, so, 2 teams coming in 0-1. Just saying, Drew. North Carolina Central traveling to Old Dominion of the Sun Belt. Mississippi Valley State taking on Tarleton State, who just beat, who was it they just beat? Army?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just beat Army. I guess I should put Arkansas Pine Bluff traveling to Central Arkansas, even though, come on, really, should I?
No.
I guess I have to, because they're not a Power 5, so I got to put it on there. I did not include Bethune traveling to Miami. Come on, it's not even necessary. Towson hosts Morgan State. That's going to be an interesting one. Morgan State, if Morgan State had that good loss, Towson, we saw what they did. Isn't that like a regional game in Towson? Yes. Up in the Baltimore area? Okay.
Towson's in Baltimore.
That's what I thought. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. I'd love to see how people vote this one. Alabama State traveling to Southern. Ooh-wee. That'll be good. I did not include South Carolina State traveling to South Carolina. Come on now. That's you already know. You already know. I also didn't include North Carolina A&T traveling to UCF. UCF's in the Big 12. That's Power 4, so we already know. Alcorn traveling to Alabama A&M is on the board. That is a game that you can pick against. And I think that's it.
Brian, Mary 305 wants to know where she can find the link to this.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, because I think I'm up for you guys still joining. I mean, there's still opportunities for you to join, and I think even though it's week 1, you can still join. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat here if I can pull up the invite here. I just gotta find it. All right, give me a second here. Okay, here it is. Invite, copy invite link. Okay, here it goes. Coming in the chats right now. If you want to play in our Pick 5 contest, okay. Now, you're already a week behind, so that means you got to be really good or hope that some of the other people forget to make their picks, which is possible. That has happened. That has happened in the past. People have kind of forgotten to make their picks. So there's the Pick 5 contest. Now, one of the things that makes this league possible, and I'll send out emails later. I do ask for like a $3 donation purely as a site management thing, but I'll send out an email to everybody about that later. Pretty much. So there you go. If you're listening to the show and you want to join the Pick 5 contest, again, these are FCS HBCU games only, and I'm not putting any time an any time an HBCU plays a Power 4 FBS. That's not going to be included on the contest.
Right.
Not going to even mess around.
Before we get out of here, Tuskegee had the opening kickoff. They drove the ball past midfield, got down around the 30, had a sack, and was forced to punt. Winston-Salem will be taking over for their first possession. 10:45 remain in the first quarter from the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama.
Right. Hold on. I feel like I got you. I'm not doing points. Oh, that's another thing. We're not doing point spreads. So those of you don't even have to worry about point spreads. It's just straight up. Make your picks, right? Make your selections. And week 2 should be available. Yep. Bam. If you go to the site, week 2 is now available. So there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games at play. You got to pick 5. And one of those games is your best bet. And then we do have a tiebreaker. So the tiebreaker game is Alcorn at Alabama A&M. That's the tiebreaker game. You got to put the total points. All right. What is Calvin talking about? That sounds like scamming. Oh.
I think the maintenance fee.
See, come on, Calvin. Okay, that's all right, Calvin. You don't have to pay it. That's all right. It's all good. All right, that's all I got, Drew. I got to get ready for hopefully I need one of my teams to win. I need a win this weekend, man. I got to get ready.
I do too. That's why I'm watching this Tuskegee Winston game.
Exactly. If you want to come check out the FAMU Monday Night Review, the guys of the ONG Strike Zone, we're going to start doing a Monday night recap of the Florida A&M game. Of course, we cover FAMU athletics every Wednesday night, but because the football games take so much energy, we thought we'd kind of dedicate a 1 hour on a different day on a Monday, because that way when we do the show on Wednesday, we don't have to spend so much time talking about something that happened 4 or 5 days ago. We can kind of address other things going on during the week
and preview the next game.
And do a preview of the next game. So myself, Kelvin Rozier, Marcus Green, and I think we've got Keith Hadley from Things Up Podcast will be joining us 7 o'clock Eastern on the ONG Strike Zone YouTube, Facebook. I'll probably drop the debut show on the Black College Sports Network, but I think I may make this a sole project on the ONG. That way I get the dedicated Rattlers and then those of you who want to kind of follow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Last thing, Brian. 20 years ago this weekend marks the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. So, this takes some, because so many of our lives were affected by Katrina. Bet a lot of people because of Katrina, with them having to migrate to different parts of the country. So just something to keep in mind as we look back on the remembrance of those, especially those who lost people in that travesty.
Yeah, prayers and thoughts to anybody who themselves or their family was affected by things that happened at Hurricane Katrina. And it's amazing to see how that city and the communities have rebounded. So thank you, Timona, for your well wishes. All right, with that said, we're going to pick up and get out of here. Make sure you stay tuned, locked in to the Black College Sports Network over the course of the week. Special thanks to any and everybody who checked out the online audio broadcast on Saturday, yesterday, of the Orange Blossom Classic. Heard some pretty good comments. Seems like people enjoyed it. And hopefully we get a chance to do more of that with our Game Time show and the Black College Sports Network audio broadcast. So, that's going to do it for tonight. Check out the BCSN Pod Zone on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast. That's where we're going to get all of these shows that are appearing on the Black College Sports Network uploaded. So if you missed anything, that's where you can go check it out. Okay. All right. For A.D. Drew, I'm Brian Fulford. Enjoy the games, what's left of them. Looks like Virginia Union's got this one in the bag. Hopefully we get a good game between Winston-Salem and Tuskegee.
On the U.
Scoreless. Yeah, scoreless right now. So hopefully we get a good game. But make sure to put some eyes on it because we want the numbers. Or they want the numbers. We all want the numbers. All right. Peace out, everybody. Be well. Have a great week. Stay off the ledge, and let's get ready to get ourselves prepared for week number 2. Week 2, okay? Week 2 of HBC football. Good night, and God bless everybody. Peace out.
Travel light, everybody. Wahala.